All in Sports Network. We love sports.
Welcome back to All in Mizzou. My name is Davis Wilson, where we talk about Mizzou every day here on the show, if you're new. I missed yesterday. Want to apologize to everybody. I've been kind of sick. I don't know what's going on. My allergies are nuts. I'm just congested up in my head, the sinus area. I don't know what's going on. But yesterday I don't know, I couldn't talk. I thought it would be a waste of an episode if I got up there and you guys could barely understand me. So I took the day off, but I'm back now, still not feeling that great, just to be honest. So this is like, you're welcome. This is like kind of the flu game, the Jordan flu game of podcasts right here. Actually, I like to mention that Dirk Nowitzki, my favorite athlete of all time, also had a flu game in the NBA Finals, and nobody seems to really talk about that as much, but he did. So for the sake of that, I'm going to say this is like my Dirk flu game against Miami in the 2011 Finals. We're still kind of dealing with the bye week. In normal weeks, I'd be breaking down Missouri's defense, but they didn't play. So one more day of kind of randomish episodes. I'll talk about Alabama at the end for a little bit. Have some fun history things to talk about. We'll talk about Mizzou and the pros. I think that'll be interesting. But I appreciate everybody for being here. And I'm sorry if I sound bad. I'm really battling. I'm really battling right now. So I thought we'd start with Mizzou players and the pros. We're probably not going to talk about every single one of them, but we can talk about a couple of these guys, especially the ones that are kind of new onto the scene in the NFL. Obviously, the highest pick Missouri's had in a long time, Armand Mimbu, the right tackle, the great right tackle for Missouri last year. He gets drafted to the Jets, the New York Jets, with the 7th overall pick, and he had an incredible debut. They played Pittsburgh. Excuse me. New York played Pittsburgh week 1. And if you don't know much about Pittsburgh or the NFL, that is the team that TJ Watt plays for. And TJ Watt is arguably the best defender in football these days. And Armand Mimbu not only held his own, he dominated the game, allowed 0 pressures, was the highest graded offensive lineman in the league in week 1. Since then, looking at his PFF stuff, I think he's allowed like 13 pressures on the year and maybe 1 sack. He is the highest graded rookie lineman still at 73.2. He's the 3rd highest graded rookie pass blocker with a 70 grade. He is the highest grade of any rookies in the run block game at 77.2. And he's the 11th highest graded rookie regardless of position. So this guy's playing well. He held his own against TJ Watt. Last week, the Jets played the Cowboys, my Dallas Cowboys, and I didn't watch it. I was driving back from Austin, but I listened to it on the radio, and it sounded like he had a tough game maybe, which, that's okay. That'll happen. But I'm trying to find exactly, I don't know. I mean, I didn't see it, so maybe he wasn't as bad, but I know he had a couple penalties. He had the Jets allowed 5 sacks to the Cowboys, and honestly, the Cowboys' defensive line isn't very good ever since they traded the best defensive lineman in the league to their biggest out of division rival, which is a really genius move and something I would definitely recommend doing. Anyway, Mimbu, I found his numbers here. Let's see. He 5 pressures allowed, 5 hurries, 5 quarterback hurries allowed. He had 4 penalties, I think. So not his best, probably not his best work. But again, I think he's been really good all year. Outside of that game, he's a rookie. Let's cut him some slack. All right, Luther Burden, the third, obviously a second-round pick for the Chicago Bears. I have been steadfast in my belief that he should have been a first-round pick. And I think he's one of the best receivers in his class. I don't understand what happened. I guess it was because he wasn't super productive last year, but if you watch Missouri football, that wasn't necessarily his fault. But he goes to the Bears, which I think is a pretty fun landing spot for him. He's kind of had a quiet start to the season, except, of course, against my Dallas Cowboys. He had 100 yards receiving and a touchdown, his biggest game of the year. But they've got a lot of mouths to feed in that Chicago offense. They've got DJ Moore, Colston Loveland, the other rookie pass catcher they went and got. So they got a lot of people to deal with. Roma Dunze, of course, just having a nice year for them. I think that his role should probably get bigger as the year goes on. In terms of just immediate situation, it's probably not the best that he could have found. I think like even the Cowboys, I really wanted the Cowboys to move up and take Burden in the second round because I think he in that situation would have been the wide receiver 2 because Cowboys probably don't end up trading for Pickens at that point. I don't know. But even if he was a wide receiver 3 here in Dallas, I think probably he has a little bit more opportunity than he has with the Bears. But long term, I think that this is going to be a really good thing because, DJ Moore is a little older. Not really, but he's 28. You never know how long he'll be there. I really want him to start getting more opportunity. And I know he will. He's a good player. And so that's good. Cody Schrader, a sad update here with Cody Schrader. A few weeks ago, the Jaguars traded Tank Bigsby to the Philadelphia Eagles. Tank Bigsby, the running back from Auburn. And then the Jaguars, after doing that, signed Cody Schrader to their team. And that was kind of cool. And you're like, okay, Cody Schrader, nice. But he just got released from he got released from the Jaguars last week. And I also know that a couple episodes ago, I talked about Cody Schrader a little bit. It was when I was talking about, if you didn't hear it, I was talking about how many other teams in college football would you rather go to if you're a running back than Mizzou? And during that, you should go back and listen to it. But during it, I said Cody Schrader was a draft pick. He was not drafted. I felt dumb after I said it, but he was undrafted. But he is in the league still. He's bouncing around. I guess technically now he's not anywhere. He just got released from Jacksonville, but I'm still hoping that he finds somewhere to be. He's such a fun story. I imagine he'll probably get into coaching someday. I bet he's got a spot on Missouri's roster if he wanted it. I'm sure Drinkwitz loved him some Cody Schrader, so you never know there. Darius Robinson, he was a first-round pick in 2024 to the Arizona Cardinals. 2 weeks ago, when they played on Thursday night against the Seattle Seahawks. He recorded a sack. Pretty good. I think for the most part, though, it's been a slow start to his career, his professional career. Last year, obviously, was hurt, um, which is unfortunate. He did get a sack last year, so he has 2 sacks now on his career. He missed this last week with another injury, so he just needs to get healthy. And I don't know if I imagine he'll get as many chances as he can because the Cardinals picked him with their first round pick. But if it doesn't work in Arizona, I'm sure someone's gonna want to sign him because he is uh, and that's obviously a long way down the line because you get a big contract as a rookie if you're first round pick. So we'll see, but I hope he can get healthy and start playing a little bit more. Tyler Beatty, the Denver Broncos. Shout out Adam Busack. The Denver Broncos just beat Philly. That was awesome. I hate Philly. But Beatty is playing a little bit, mostly in kind of pass protection situations. He only has 1 carry on the year, I think, but he has 6 catches. So he's playing a little bit here and there, Uh, um, Albert O, the tight end. I feel bad. I cannot say his name. I don't know. Albert O Bottom. He was here before. He was at Missouri before I got there, so I'm not exactly sure how to say his name. But he had a nice week with the Raiders. Had 5 catches on 6 targets, 36 yards. The Raiders tight ends are kind of beat up, so he's getting an opportunity there. Ennis Rakestraw, I think is hurt. He's been really unlucky with injuries. He's in Detroit, and I really hope he gets some chances soon whenever he's healthy, because he's such a good player. Chris Abrams-Drain, I think, is also with the Broncos. I think I looked on Twitter. Some of their fans are ready to see him start playing more. So maybe they'll get some more opportunities soon. But those are kind of the main guys. I wanted to talk about Drew Lock, still a backup. There's got to be like a top 5 backup in the NFL, I would say. I think he could be starting for some teams. Like if you're Cincinnati, you just trade for Flacco. That's fine. But why not go trade for Drew Lock, man? Come on. Let him sling it around to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. That'd be fun. I think they should have done that, but I'm biased. I love Drew Lock. That's kind of the pro update I have. Next thing I want to talk about, let's get into this Alabama-Missouri matchup coming up this week. Missouri and Alabama have played, I think, 8 times. Shoot, I just messing with my nose. My mom requested that I don't mess with my nose with my hand because I'm sick. And I just did it. I disobeyed mother. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Alabama and Missouri have played 8 times. Alabama's won 6 of them. They've actually won the last 6. Missouri won the first 2 matchups. The first one was in 1968, which was at the Gator Bowl, Jacksonville, Florida. Missouri won that game 35-10, and then in 1975 they played in Birmingham, which Alabama used to play there sometimes. They play there in Tuscaloosa. Missouri won that game 20-7, and that was a big upset. I wrote a story about this for the Missourian last year when Alabama was about to play Missouri, and Alabama was, I believe, Alabama had won 22 straight regular season games heading into that game in 1975. And Missouri kind of took it to them. Missouri ran the ball 64 times for 206 yards. Alabama ran it 31 times for 34 times for 31 yards. Missouri went from unranked to 5th in the country in the AP poll after that big upset win. It was a huge upset because Alabama, like I said, had only lost twice in the last 2 years, and both of them were in the postseason. So they hadn't lost a regular season game in 22 matchups. They were ranked number 2 in the AP poll at the time. It was a big win for Missouri, really big win. Al Onofrio was the coach at Missouri at this point. And in the story, I talk a little bit about, some of the things that were going on in 1975. So I wanted to kind of do that again. The number one song in America when this game was played was Glenn Campbell's Rhinestone Cowboy. Okay, pretty good. Jaws was the highest grossing movie in 1975. It had released 3 months before this game happened. This game happened in September, on September 8th, 1975. Some other things that happened in 1975. One second here. The Ford F-150 was introduced. That was the first year Ford F-150 was around, 1975. Gas was 53 cents a gallon. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. What? Jeez. The price of a movie ticket, $2.03. Man, what a great time. Taco Bell was the most popular fast food chain in 1975. I think that what a year this is. Taco Bell, Jaws, cheap gas. Shoot, I'd like to go to 1975. I wanted to look up some of the albums that were released that year. Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan, one of his best albums. Probably my third favorite of his. Physical Graffiti by Upland was released in 1975. Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Man, that's a good one. And Venus and Mars by Wings, Paul McCartney's band. All released in 1975. So I wonder if they were in the locker room in Birmingham before the game, if if they were maybe listening to a little Magneto and the Titanium Man by Wings, or what else? Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Be cool. But yeah, that's kind of the history there. That's the history. If you want to read about it, you can go find it on the Missourian website. I wrote about last year. Tony Galbraith was the running back from Missouri. He had 32 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown in the win. Missouri dominated that game. I actually don't think Missouri finished very well that season. They went to number 5 in the AP poll, but I think they kind of struggled that year. So obviously last year, Alabama's win streak continued with the shutout win over Missouri in Tuscaloosa. Hopefully the Columbia crowd can get behind Missouri and help them get off to a quicker start than last time. We'll see, though. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a real nice preview of this game, really get into it. Be excited for that. Come back and listen to that. Before I go, though, I'm going to talk about a couple players just to know, just to get in your head, a couple players from Alabama you should know. coming into this one. Quarterback Ty Simpson, a Heisman favorite right now, one of them at least. A big, very good player. He's thrown for 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, only one interception. Against Vanderbilt, he just threw for 340 yards on 74.2 completion percentage. He's good. He's good. Doesn't run the ball that much. He's gotten sacked 8 times this year, so you can get to him. That's something I'll look for Missouri to do. But this is a guy who can really, really throw the ball, and he's got a ton of weapons. This is the best quarterback Missouri has played this year so far. He's better than Jalen Daniels. He's playing better right now than Lenore Sellers. So this is the toughest test they have. And the one thing that kind of you are excited about if you're Missouri, he's not a dual threat guy, which is, Lenore Sellers is, Jalen Daniels is, and those are the kind of guys that Missouri really struggles with. But this is a guy who can just throw it all over the place. And with the secondary problems Missouri's had, it's, we'll have to see how that goes. But he's going to be tough to defend. Really tough to stop that offense with Ty Simpson. Another guy on the offense, Jam Miller. What a great name for their running back out of Tyler, Texas. He's only played in 2 games so far. Why? I guess he was hurt, maybe. Yeah, I think he was hurt, actually. But he ran for 46 yards against Georgia. But this week against Vanderbilt, man, he had it going. 22 carries, 136 yards, and a touchdown. I'm really interested to see this Missouri run defense versus this Alabama offensive line, because I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see. I think that's a strength of Missouri. And like I said, sacks happened against Alabama. But they cleared some holes for Jam this week for sure. Anything else I'm missing with Jam? 5'10", 220 pounds. From Tyler, Texas. That's cool. Excuse me, guys. Man, I'm struggling here. All right. Next, I'm going to do 2 players. I'm going to highlight 2 players, 2 wide receivers. The first one, I'm sure you guys know. Ryan Williams, who was born, get this guy was born in 2007. Is that not ridiculous? This is the first time I've felt like, good God, I am officially getting old. Like 2007, I was 5. I was 5 years old when this guy was born, and now he's ripping it up in college football. He's one of the best receivers in the country. I mean, golly. He had 98 receiving yards and a touchdown against Vanderbilt. Against Wisconsin earlier in the year, he had 5 catches for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. He is really, really, really good. Really good. He's from Mobile, Alabama, which is cool. It's cool to see homegrown kind of guys there. Last year, he was incredible. Really good. 865 yards, 8 touchdowns last year for Alabama. A bright spot in an otherwise, relatively disappointing season for the Crimson Tide. And then his partner, his receiving partner, Jeremy Bernard, transferred in last year from Washington. Last year at Alabama, he had 50 catches for 794 yards, 2 touchdowns. This year, he already has 25 catches for 392 yards and 5 touchdowns. Jeremy Bernard. Remember this guy's name. He had 146 yards in the week 1 loss to Florida State. 82 yards against Vanderbilt, also a touchdown, 2 touchdowns against Louisiana Monroe. He has 5 touchdowns already this year. 5 touchdowns in 5 games. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Those are the guys on offense you got to know. Their skill position is, it's really good. On defense, there's a couple guys as I watched some film on Alabama, particularly in the Vanderbilt game. Justin Jefferson, no, not the best receiver in the NFL. Not LSU, Justin Jefferson. They have a linebacker. Alabama has a linebacker named Justin Jefferson from Memphis, Tennessee. He's a good player. He's a good player. He has 29 total tackles so far this year, 1 pass defended, a sack, a forced fumble, an interception. He's doing it all. This linebacker from Memphis, Tennessee is someone you have to remember here. I think it'll be interesting. This Alabama defense is good, but I think it's the run defense. I think you're going to be able to run on them. So when you have a guy like Hardy, you're going to be able to run the ball, which is unless they really stack the box, which they kind of did against Vanderbilt. But it's going to be a really interesting matchup, this Alabama-Missouri game. I think Missouri can win. I don't know if they will. I think they definitely can, though. I hope it's a good game. The last name I wanted to bring up, Bray Hubbard, a safety from Alabama. He's actually from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. He has 2 interceptions on the year, 3 pass defended, 1 forced fumble. He's been at Alabama for 3 years now. 5 interceptions on his career. 3 last year. He already has 2 this year. He's a good player. That's secondary for Alabama. I'm really interested to see this. How does Missouri approach this thing on offense? I'm sure they're going to want to really run the ball everywhere, but if they load the box, they're going to have to throw, and it'll be interesting to see. I'm going to preview this game tomorrow. Come back. Hopefully I'm feeling better tomorrow. Sorry if this was kind of a lame episode, random episode, but I just wanted to get something out. Didn't want to skip another one. Thanks for joining me. Come back tomorrow for an in-depth preview of Alabama, Missouri, a top 15 matchup in Columbia on Saturday at 11 a.m. But tomorrow, be back here. I'll preview the game and give you everything you need to know heading into it. All right. Have a good Wednesday. In Mizzou.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.